Alright, so we started out with this small sample scene. Just a basic village. These dudes are running around, gathering their resources. When they have enough resources, they build a building and use the food from the farm to and the other resources and stuff. They build up the village, add to their head count, so on and so forth. So I don't want it to get up a notch. It's like instead of this basic pre-laid out map, we'll do something procedurally generated. So I went to make that. This is going to take a minute or two to load, so I'm going to fast forward a few minutes. Alright, so here is our procedurally generated map. So it's 280 by 210. I can make it like a hair bigger, but not at all by much. This is essentially the largest I can get it without either the mesh will stop rendering or Unity will completely stall out from trying to render in all the objects, because each one of these is a tree, and it's putting them everywhere where there's a forest, and yeah. So I wanted something much bigger, a much bigger total map. I was trying to figure out how to. Oh, or Nick here. So like there are these tribes of people. I just do the people from the game design group as like the possible last names. If we were to start this up again, it'd be somebody else. And then there's like random. Where is it? Member names. Right. It like generates random first names for the different people that are in the tribe. And here's the priority list going haywire at the moment for what their priority is to build. Anyway, alright, so generates the map, that's how all that works. Wanted to go bigger, how do I go bigger? So what I did was I turned everything into data. Like it doesn't actually, well, I mean, it renders something at first, but not much. So this was the size of the thing we were just looking at. It's 280 by 210. This is the current size that I'm able to go up to, the 600 by 450. Alright, so we're loaded up here. Like I mentioned, everything's running behind. It's all data, and I set up these cubes so we can, like it's a clear demonstration of what we have going on. So you can see it when we click an area, it finds out what's supposed to be in that area and generates, it spawns in a prefab of a generic type. So like at the moment I just have the one tree set up, so they're all going to be whatever. But theoretically, if you had 4 different skins in the class for that tree, it would say which of the 4 skins it is. So it would just throw up the generic tree prefab and then apply whichever of the 4 meshes its file says it's supposed to be. So every time you enter a new area, it's breaking down everything that was in the area before and then generating everything that's in the new area. And that would go for NPCs too. At the moment, all I have is tree setup, so that's just it would take an eternity to load, and when I'm testing, I don't feel like sitting through that every time. So anyway, if there are NPCs, they'll spawn just like the trees will, depending on where they're at, and if the data of that NPC has it moving from, say, here to here, it'll show up in. If we were to have that area active, you'd see it walking, of course. But if we were to click here, wait a little bit, and then click over here, like dude's gonna be wherever over here he would be the same as if he was walking normal and you were to see it, even though you're not seeing it. So that's it. That's how the whole thing works. We're just, as your character's walking through, it'll just generate, like it'll break down what's behind it and load up what's in front of it, so that as your player is walking through, it all looks like everything's there. But in actuality, we just have like a small area at a time that is actually put together. And right, so at the moment it's this big because it's all just the standard Unity processing. But once I start using the Unity ECS and job system and distributing the workload a little bit, we'll be able to get much bigger and hopefully cut down on these load times too. They're pretty ridiculous. But alright, that's it.